It is the first day in the new month, the month of April, the fourth month in the year. This is a beautiful morning. It's quite cold. It's just a very, very nice weather actually out here. My name is Dimitri Ajijolaluola. Welcome you to the month, and I hope that nobody is fooling anybody in this April. All right, it's a beautiful new morning. You know that, what we do for you right here on Morning Spring on Western Spring Television is to keep you updated about things happening in and around Nigeria, in and around you, and then to bring you nice, frank, honest conversation through the mouths of our analysts. And today is also that day. Good morning, Femi.
Good morning.
Happy New Month.
Happy New Month. Happy April.
Yes.
And it will be April full of good things for us.
Exactly.
Okay. And the real sense of it. And we hope for rantless, stressless,
disasterless.
very disaster-less, or if it's possible, disaster-free. And, a month that will bring good tidings to everybody, actually. Right. Happy New Month, Nigeria. Happy April. Femi Ojo is my name. We come this morning, of course, to do what we know how to do best. This is speaking truth to power. Look through the headlines of our dailies, and then we get talking about these issues immediately after. Today's conversation will be a banger, as they usually say. You don't want to miss any part of it as well. From these papers, time to the conversation, it gives you a good vibe and energy for a very productive and a very, engaged April, actually, in which everybody must do what they have to do. Well, maybe around here over the night, it's a different story as far as power is concerned. Actually, people around here can do like this.
Yeah.
Okay. We hope that continues for as long as we can.
Then my highbrow area has no brows anymore.
You are not the one that will call your area highbrow. This is what pride does to people.
This is not pride.
Now you are being humbled. In the past 5 days, you guys are being humbled right now. The underdogs are like this.
Yeah, shining.
So your highbrow. Okay, Shabi's eyebrow. Okay, you people should.
We have no brow now, actually. My wings are clipped.
You are browless. All right, it's what it is. And the papers is next. Actually, 2 days ago, it was Rabi Musa Kwakwanso's movement, the ADC. The governorship candidate at that time, Mr. Gawuna, has joined him in the ADC as well in the last election. And it's good that we talk about, the energy of politicians at that time. Do you reckon that we have the city boy movement right now of the APC? And it's quite a strong one, actually, quite a strategic movement in, reeling out. I'm not sure part of their mandate is just to reel out alone, is to re-elect Mr. President. So it has been devolved and is being managed by the young people. Now, you have the renewed hope ambassadors for the real-time politicians and for the older ones. So the younger ones among them, pulled out the city boy movement, be managed actually, or be championed by
his son.
Right, Sheyi Tinubu himself, in which I feel it's what a son, emotions apart, is what a son should do for his father. Okay, so whatever they do with it is another conversation. So, and he has gathered his socialite friends, his billionaire friends, his, Nollywood friends, his celebrity friends, and all of those persons. So with a bit of the younger politicians, and they are cutting across, actually, in fact, it was more like what's going on here when they moved to the southeast, and almost the celebrity guys there, or a huge chunk of the celebrities in the southeast are tagging along. Okay, we know them already, so no need to mention their name. Of course, around the southwest, they are making inroads in the north and all of those things. So that's the renewed hope ambassadors, the city boy movement. Mr. President was the one who called himself a city boy years ago. So they are making a movement around that. And of course, there is another one. On the contrary, the village boy movement. You know, actually, yeah, it's a thing because they are saying, if you guys are the city boys, they are the village boys, in which you are priding yourself to be the who is who. You are the ones taking the sweet part of the country. They are on the countryside, the village boys. They are the real people who will determine that they feel the city boys can never outnumber the village boys. And they are, according to them, they are the voice of the people. You are the voice of the politician and the socialite. So let's see how it will be. You know, whatever movement. Okay, well, maybe you are the red lady movement. Whatever that is, let's just make whatever we do. You know, there will always be movement, even in the US. Before the election, many things, strategic places. Donald Trump attended podcast interviews in the US. They were that strategic because his team, especially his social media handler, very young person, knew that the podcast is part of where the eyeballs and the ears are.
Did you not have one with Elon Musk the other time?
Well, Elon Musk was with him, actually. You know, he was part before a Nigerian trailer passed their meeting. Okay. So, you know, Elon Musk was a huge determinant of swaying voters' allegiance and influence to Mr. Trump's side. But what am I saying? They were strategic. Not just the big time media stations. I mean, podcast. He attended because he knew that's what the young people are listening to. And he needed his message to resonate to them. Now, for Nigeria, Mr. President, you know, they didn't attend interview, any debate rather. He attended maybe one or two, I think one with the BBC or CNN, and it wasn't like a debate. That's what we are talking about. And, you know, the all-time interview that he was questioned by seasoned interviewers. Okay, but these are the issues as well. So whatever being the movement, being, you know, peddled around, bandied around, spread at this time is okay. The thing is, Nigerians should shine their eyes because you will know that election is in 2027 and the city boy movement started since last year. Actually, do you know ambassadors have been appointed in almost every state? Many politicians have it. And it's not just about APC, actually. Maybe they are the ones loud with their stuff and they have more money and they have more people. So they have the visibility. But it shows the politicians, they are always strategic about their politics. They have their long-time plans. But can you take these plans and let him metamorphose into real-time governance? Is that too bad? Enjoy your life. I enjoy my life. Is that much of a ask?
That's what their, you know, what their activities are all about.
Yeah.
What I want to ask this morning is, what message, with all of this movement, the city boy, village boy, rural boy, water boy, whatever you are, renewed hope. What is the message you're taking to the people you're going to? Because it's not so much about just having these groups. You're taking a message to people. What is the message you're taking to them? You know, it's easy when you're having, you know, you're freshly seeking people's mandate. This one, you're asking them to return the mandate to you. What is that renewed hope you are anchoring on? What is that message of hope that you're renewing this time? Did you even give hope in the first place? And what hope are you trying to renew? Those are the questions that I think the Nigerians should be strategically asking, because if politicians are, you know, gathering themselves on the one hand, the people, the electorate should also be mobilizing, asking critical questions that they ought to ask, you know, brew those questions in your head that you'll ask those people when they bring, you know, all of their messages to you. And it's not just about those seeking re-election, even those that are coming to you for an election, for a fresh mandate. Ask critical questions now, so you won't begin to ask those questions 2 years, 3 years into the administration. Those are the things to ask. Everybody can come up with whatever movements they want to come up with.
Yeah.
You come up with your own critical thinking. Put on your thinking cap and ask the right questions, not so much about how much are you going to give us during this election. It will not sustain you.
All right.
And you know that. So,
all right. Not just even about sustaining you. Will that keep you alive? I think that's the biggest thing now, right now. If you close your eyes in the evening and you wake up in the morning, will you still find yourself in your bed or you'll be before your maker?
And for those who are seeking stomach infrastructure from this, who have said, oh, my own future is a bit secure. Remember those neighbors around you who will not give you peace when you get that money.
Yeah.
So it is why you should fight for the liberation, emancipation of everyone, for the success story of everybody, so that nobody will be leaning on you at the end of the day. Because they say, a rich man amongst several, poverty-stricken people. You're even poorer. At the end of the day, you'll be.
Somebody said, to put it literally the way the Yoruba proverb puts it, that a rich man among 6 poor people. Okay, that some will say they didn't count well, because among the 7 there is no rich person actually. Okay. Let's take a quick break right now. And when we return, we'll let you into the front pages of papers. There is this thing that you talked about. 1st of April used to be seen as April Fool, a day of prank, actually. I was at a place yesterday in church, actually, and the pastor had to warn people, don't prank anybody this time, especially people because of people. Edge. Yeah. And I think it's good that except that it will be like towards comedy, if that's okay by you. But something that will look real, so real, that has to raise people's blood pressure, please let's desist, actually, because people are on the precipice, on the edge, so that people don't shut down. You are saying, it's a prank. No, please, let's beware. Maybe when the country is so much at peace with itself and its people, we can go ahead with that. But if it will not make anybody to laugh, please don't do that. Actually, all right. So there won't be an April Fool or something else. We want it to start with joy. The day is good. It is looking nice already. We hope it will get better. And by the way, we won't go by without talking about the havoc that was wreaked by the storm. Especially here, Shugba, many parts of the state, it depends on who you are speaking to. Many persons were affected. People that I know, perhaps 1 or 2 persons.
I am affected as well.
Wow. So it's a bad one. People lost the entire building, actually, and it's a sad one. Our heart and thoughts are with those affected, actually. I remember the moment we were talking about neighbors and people, if there's a way you can come through for people. I was speaking with somebody who said he has been practically living in his church because the old place, no more house for him. And for some, this is the time that you have to find a middle ground, because this is not the time that a tenant will be telling the landlord to return my rent alone. Yeah, okay, the deal is no more there. You can ask for your rent. But even the landlord has been affected as well. In fact, I heard of somebody who has some, who was lucky enough to have some money returned to him by his landlord. I said 2 things have happened. That landlord is a godly person. Number 2, very importantly, he has means. It's because he has means. There are some landlords that they don't have that money.
They rely solely on the rent you pay.
In fact, possibly they took it from you to complete a portion of that house. So there is nothing they can give you at this time. And that's where social services comes in. That is where intervention comes in. And I've not released beyond political talks of, this person, this representative, this is doing whatever. In fact, I was having a conversation, 2 nights ago or last night. I say, I don't want to sound superstitious or too spiritual or too religious or too controversial here or insensitive. I say, let me say it in PJ. If I say God don't see us the way we will be. Those things that used to happen in the Americas, in China, typhoon, tsunami, God has seen that there is no way we can undo that here.
We don't have the capacity.
Dead body go surplus, the way they say it. Because you will hear that there is a rainstorm and 4 poles are falling. In the next 1 month, you people won't have like ordinary poles. If typhoon will mess up you know what it does to communities? It will turn it upside down. That means that's a forgotten place. And there is a way that the little ones, and I'm not berating it, that we are seeing as compared to those places, is only okay that the following day, you already see intervention. But then, I don't know, maybe you are living the highbrow.
There has been no
you say you are living the highbrow
in my no-brow area at this time, Femi.
I've not seen any.
None.
Apart from promises.
Well, I heard that some higher brow area has gotten intervention.
Okay.
I'm waiting for my own no-brow area now to come and get intervention. But then, on a serious note,
yes,
you have spoken to some very important facts. If Nigeria were a UK and India, all of these countries that are prone to all of these things that you just mentioned, the US, I don't know how it survived. But God, in his infinite mercy, has seen us and he has so blessed us this way. And so, because of that, even with the little
the ones that we still
pockets that we are having, we can see how we get intervention. How interventions come.
Immediate. Not the ones that you
This is a place where you need to protest for as little as electricity.
And it won't be the kind of promise that we still need another committee. We are setting up a 7-man committee to look into this. No, and that is where
you know that the bulk of the money will still come from you.
Should kick in. The local government should kick in. Because in fact, that's the first. It's the local government that, in fact, that same night, they should be going around, getting data, intervening. Then the state comes in. Then you can talk about the federal intervention. Well, it is what it is at this time. But for people, that's why we live communally. Please help wherever you can help, actually. All right, let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll let you into the papers for today. Stay with us. All right, we kickstart the newspaper segment from the Daily Sun for today. Flashing very brightly. Knocks kudos as Senate, okay? Tinubu's 9 trillion naira budget hike request. Knocks kudos as Senate, okay? Tinubu's 9 trillion naira budget hike request. With riders, budget rises from 58.4 trillion naira to 68.3 trillion naira. Budget rises from 58.4 trillion naira to 68.3 trillion naira. Extends 2025 budget to June 2026 as capital project stall. Extends 2025 budget to June 2026 as capital project stall. Interesting. Right? Budget rising from 58.4 trillion naira to 68.3 trillion naira. An extension of 2025 budget to June 2026 as capital project stall.
Can you imagine that? Now there have been knocks, there are quotas, and that's 9 trillion naira budget hike, Femi. We might wonder what is being added to these and why are we having a hike in our budget? Where is this money coming from? Where is it going to go? How is it going to be managed? And why are we having an extension to half of another year? Those are critical questions.
Yes, and that's why the headline is saying knocks kudos. As Senate okays Tinubu's 9 trillion naira budget hike request. Senate. All right.
Okayed. And when was this budget hike request, taken to the Senate? And how? A lot of questions.
All right. Here, below that, members of Rumuji community, MOR, local government, River State, protesting killings in their community at Government House, Port Harcourt, yesterday. And you have, placards. Paul Oduve is not an animal. All we demand is justice. Another one says, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, tell the world your involvement in the death of Paul Oduve. These are serious allegations there, actually. And answers are needed, actually. Beside that, you have the picture of Governor Monday Okpebholo of Edo State. His deputy Dennis Idahosa and his team while receiving Minister of Health and Social Welfare Mohammed Ali Pate, and Director General Immunology Institute of Microbiology, Chinese Academy of Sciences, Gaofu, in Benin yesterday. All right. Moving on, Afri-Exim Bank leads $4 billion loan deal to strengthen Dangote refinery. Afri-Exim Bank leads $4 billion loan deal to strengthen Dangote refinery. All right. And Defense Headquarters confident U.S.-Nigeria military collaboration will boost security. We're talking about confidence right now. Okay. Ok's promotion, conversion of 2,114 civil servants. Ok's promotion, conversion of 2,114 civil servants. An El-Rufai returns to ICPC cell after month's burial. Interesting days in Nigeria, actually. The man was released to attend to his mother's demise and burial and funeral, and after that, return to your cell, Oyi Nasir El-Rufai, and continue with your case. You know, the thing is quite dynamic.
No, the thing
is, because his accusers who are part of the funeral, maybe he's given an energy of, there's nothing personal in this. We are still your friends. You are just going through legal proceedings. Explain yourself. You know, in old Nollywood Yoruba movies in which something happens and the police will come and say, my name is Officer this thing, and from Isaleleko police station, we are inviting you to just come and say what you know about this. And then you come back to the house.
Yeah.
Well,
and that will never happen.
Well, it depends on who you are.
It will never happen. But then, remember, his bail hearing was supposed to hold yesterday.
31st, yeah.
Whether it held, I'm not so sure.
No, obviously. All right, moving on. Federal government seeks tougher action on $88 billion annual financial leakages. Federal government seeks tougher action on $88 billion annual financial leakages. Says tax reforms already yielding results. Okay. And JAMB releases 2026 mock UTME results. The list 20 CBT centers. JAMB releases 2026 mock UTME results. The list 20 CBT centers. That will be all from the Daily Sun for today.
Right. Nigerian Tribune newspaper is next from the Daily Sun. Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. And the banner headline here says 30 reps move across parties. 14 join APC, ADC gains 9. PDP loses 12. 30 reps move across parties. 14 join APC. ADC gains 9, PDP loses 12, and the writers, we are leaving battered PDP for Wike on Thursday. We are leaving battered PDP for Wike on Thursday. Bauchi Governor declares likely to join ADC. Well, yesterday it was in the news. The Bauchi Governor will make his declaration today.
Okay.
Well, he declares and is likely to join ADC. It's still not a certainty yet. But we'll know as the day unfolds where he goes. All right, below that, court orders final forfeiture of UK house linked to Jeremiah Husseini. Okay, troops arrest 16 logistics suppliers, other bandits in Northeast. Troops arrest 16 logistics suppliers, other bandits in Northeast. And right here, the rider foil mass abduction, rescue over 150 victims in Borno. And on the earth, scientists create device that warns of approaching heart attack. Scientists create device that warns of approaching heart attack. I think that's a major gain.
I think so.
That
major one. Actually, I hope it will be affordable. Actually, and it's something. We'll wait to see what it is. Actually,
it will be very much available as well
and accessible. Actually, that will trigger if situation is about to go down. I think it's a major one intervention. Actually.
And then the government as well should find a way to get it into the country if it's not here already, and to find a way to subsidize, even if it can't be made free.
Most likely it might be expensive.
Yes.
Actually. But it will really be helpful.
And because it's still
because heart attack is a very terrible thing. Most of the time,
always.
Most often than not,
very fatal.
Victims don't get to survive it because that's why it's a heart
those who do
attack.
are never left the same.
Yeah.
Probably get down with stroke.
Yeah.
Very, very terrible.
I think it's a good one.
Yes.
Whoever they are, they deserve a big applause for that. These are great interventions, actually. I just hope these kind of interventions too will come from Nigeria someday, consistently, actually. And I think it's a big deal, but it's not a big deal if the environment is suitable. The brains are not the issue.
I mean, you read a paper yesterday. You read a part where the federal government was given 50 million, was it?
Yeah,
to create innovators. I think that there are several in Nigeria, but the environment is not there. And for these people who innovate, you find that they do it through their noses.
Yeah.
They find scraps of materials and then use it to build
and maybe
whatever
investors who believes in their thing. Because you don't know how many times they've tried. You don't know since when they have started. The failures. Now they are coming up with it, actually.
All right, moving ahead to other news stories right there. Federal government unveils new standard for fairly used vehicles. Says no certification, no entry. Afrexim Bank leads $4 billion financing for Dangote refinery was $2.5 billion commitment. Right to the top strip of the paper above the nameplate. Plateau Kaduna killings affront to all Nigeria stands for, according to the president, Tinubu there. And the riders direct security agencies to fish out perpetrators. IGP deploys DIG to Jos. Plateau government reinforces ban on motorcycle operators. NAS passes 68.323 trillion naira 2026 budget. Approves additional loan of $6.9 billion within hours. Within hours, Femi. What possible deliberations, consultations, deep research and deep cross-examination of this could be possibly done in 6 hours. I mean, within hours, rather. And then to say that, what are the future, and immediate term effects of this additional, all of these critical questions. And that's why people say that these people, are not really serious. Because if you think critically, you find that there are some decisions that you just append your, or you give the gavel, strike the gavel on and all of that.
Yeah.
These things are going to have far-reaching consequences on the Nigerian state, and most especially the Nigerian people, the people at the grassroots, not the elite, because they keep amassing, they keep getting this money to themselves. It won't stop the solar installation in Asoro.
No, that's done.
It won't stop any. I'm saying that it will never stop any decision.
To let you know that that's not up for consideration. It's done.
You get
actually.
It will never stop anything major that the Asoro
You know what I wanted to say? When you say what kind of work, you even talk about clocks examination, there is no even examination. Let alone crossing or whatever. When they say when you're in school and you hear wuru wuru to the answer, this is the real definition of wuru wuru to the answer. Like there is a predetermined end. So let's also work it, whatever we are working, work it to that. That is the thing. In fact, Nigerians will say, I'm not begging you people to borrow on my behalf, because this is how Buhari started. It was borrowing and borrowing. Oh, we are still within the threshold. No problem. The debt management office,
out-borrowed Buhari.
DMO will say, oh, we are still fine. All of a sudden, Buhari left. The same APC party officials are now denying. They are trying to disconnect themselves from anything that more like a plague. Oh, it's a different leadership. The president is different. The leader is different right now. There was a time that the former Edo State governor, I'm trying to remember his name now.
Which of them?
The one that left before this, actually. When he said, actually, okay, I remember. He came up and he talked about that we were printing money. The party, it was PDP then, actually, and they came on him to say, oh, it's a lie. He doesn't know what he's saying. He was bashed and all of those things. And you know, Obaseki, thank you. Godwin Obaseki, he came out earlier and said he knows. He's a finance person. You people are printing money. And that has to do with ways and means. Now it's still a problem. Till today, trillions of naira was put under ways and means. Nobody has been held accountable till now. The borrowing spree has started. The latest is $5 billion. That was what we were hearing yesterday. That Mr. President has told the Senate to okay the thing for him. And we are hearing now within hours, those things are being done without consideration. The thing is, now, Tinubu will not always be there. He has less than 2 years to go, right? If Nigerians want, they can re-elect him. The maximum he can go, according to our law, is 8 years. And when he leaves, someone else will come back and say, oh, it's Tinubu's government. It's not my government. Either it will be the APC or another party. These are the issues as well. Billions of dollars. No proper check on the last. Your Excellency, how about the last one you collected? What have you done with it? Budget performance is nothing in Nigeria. After everybody will stand on the mandate. History will judge everybody.
Right.
And these are the issues.
And this is 9 trillion naira, Femi. Yeah. We've left billions. But now on trillions.
Capital project will not even be funded in 2025. It is now being moved. The project of last year, the vote for last year capital project is now being moved up to June of 2026. And you are talking about the economy is doing well. Our finance is doing great.
In 2020, I mean, in 2020 for 2027 as well. Because when we have up to June 2020, that means and you get to the end of the year, they'll start to rush to pass, to appropriate their whatever, and all of that. Then we'll have another. We even
have an extension of 2026 already. Yes. Of 2026 budget already. From 50-something trillion naira to 60-something trillion naira. By the way, the funding for 2025 project is still being extended to June. So what's this is a strategic person. Oh, we have a very strategic team. They are financial guru and all of those things that we are saying. What strategy about these one? Now, even the confused ones, they didn't have these messed up budgets that we are having. You don't even know how many cycles you are running as a person. Please go ahead.
All right. Those are the headlines right there on the face of Nigerian Tribune this morning.
All right, let's go to The Guardian for today. The Guardian newspaper.
One other thing before you move.
Yes, please.
I mean, right there, what you took on Daily Sun says Senate okays. And right here, Nigerian Tribune is saying NAS. That is, it has added House of Reps to this. So the true picture of that, we do not know. If the Senate alone okayed that, or somehow they just mumbled and jumbled the whole thing together and said this. Because we have been seeing some, some little, not what we are supposed to see, not adequate, but some little opposition from the House of Reps. I mean, especially when we're talking about the Electoral Act as well. We saw at least a little bit of, let's do this thing a little bit right. At least the much we can do, the much within our power, let's do this. This might not be right. But then we'll see two different things in the headlines. Senate is okay, and now it is NAS on Nigerian Tribune.
Very well. All right, moving on. Let's see the Guardian newspaper for the next set of headlines. And it goes, here you go. 2026 budget. NAS okay. This is about the season of okay right now. If only they can okay a good, and a protected Nigeria for Nigerians. Nobody will be complaining. But it's about the money right now. NAS okay, 68.3 trillion naira budget, shift burden of funding execution to federal government. Okay. Okay. So what? Okay. Let's go ahead, because I wanted to ask, so what happens to oversight? Because the burden of funding and execution, can this same Senate oversight anything meaningful?
Funding and execution.
Here. All right, moving on. Airlines lose 32.5 billion naira to flight delays, cancellations in 1 year. Airlines lose 32.5 billion naira to flight delays, cancellations in 1 year. I hope it can be quantified as well. What travelers lose to these cancellations every year, if actually it can be quantified in money times. Actually, there's some of these airlines that some of them still move mad and they can do very much better than that. Okay. And they should be held responsible for whatever they do, actually, especially the ones within their powers. Transport Minister resigns as Adelabu shells Oyo Guba ambition. Transport Minister resigns as Adelabu shells Oyo Guba ambition.
I don't know.
There was a letter flying around yesterday by his resignation.
Yes.
Towards the evening, it was refuted,
and he refuted
as well. Okay. Okay. I'm sure in a kind of way, in more like a dark comedy, right? Some Nigerians were already happy to say, finally, let this man come and go and face whatever. Now he's not resigning again. Or possibly he didn't even try to resign before.
I think the Nigerians should help out in that regard. Help him resign. He needs to take a rest.
Can you resign on somebody's behalf?
Help him.
Or have him redeployed?
Redeployed to where? Where could he possibly function better?
Maybe where his expertise is a finance person, actually. He was deputy director of CBN. That doesn't take away from his CV.
Let him go take a rest.
Okay. His employers will make that decision.
Wow.
All right. Deported Nigerians decry treatment in Mozambique as NITCOM urges calm in South Africa. There is a violent atmosphere. And the NITCOM Foreign Affairs Ministry, they're issuing advisory right now that Nigerians should lay low. Wherever you are, please lay low. Well, that one is about survival, right? Which is okay. But then we hope there will be government to government conversation about this. Don't just tell Nigerians to lay low alone. You should engage the government. What's going on with our people? Okay. Even if some of them are offenders of any particular law, they should still be protected. Don't let it be, because don't let it just be that Nigerians are now, like endangered species anywhere that can be leached, that can be descended upon, because they know nobody cares for them.
This is saying
I think African countries, even if we don't have that clout beyond the shores of the continent, our fellow neighbors should know that Nigerians are not the kind of people you attack anyhow.
Yes. And this is talking about a kind of treatment in Mozambique. And before any country deports
Mozambique,
yes, before any country deports, a national, I think that the country would have been notified. And was Nigeria not on ground in that country about that? I just began to see some gap, the relationship gap thing. If Nigerians, if the Nigeria, what about the embassy? What happened? What were they deported to? All of these questions. What happened? Why did they begin to be treated in such a way?
Did you see my content and embassy?
Some questions.
Don't get me started.
Wow. All right.
Moving on here, JAMB releases 2026 UTME mock result, actually. All right, blacklist 20 CBT centers. All right. So the picture of the man in charge there, beaming with smile, Professor Oloyede. And we hope by the time the real exam is done, it will go as planned. And of course, it will get the pass mark of the regulators, and especially Nigerians. And there'll be no need for any tears, on our screens. Maritime inefficient, and not just tears on our screens of JAMB, but the students themselves will know that this is a reflection of what I've done, actually. Maritime inefficiencies, delayed reforms cost Nigeria 5 trillion naira yearly. And every Exim Bank leads $4 billion financing for Dangote refinery, commits $2.5 billion. And all right, just above that, you have the picture of the Chief Executive Officer of Wakana and others in a particular meeting. Just above that, the Group Managing Director, CEO Zenith Bank, PLC, Dame Dr. Dora Umoji, and Senior Vice President, Group Country Manager, Visa West and Central Africa at a particular meeting there. All right, it gladdens my heart to see these high flyers as women doing great things, actually. All right, moving on, 2027 marks defections in House of Reps as 28 switch parties. 2027 mass defections in House of Reps as 28 switch parties. A Middle East crisis, marketers urge federal government to consider temporary subsidy. Middle East crisis, marketers urge federal government to consider temporary subsidy. Do you know one thing, talk about that till now? Irrespective of how you guys are willing, crying, talking, ranting, supporting or denouncing whatever it is that you guys are doing. I mean, Nigerians, right? There has been no concrete, publicized intervention to say, Nigerians, on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria, this is what we are doing for you at this season. Number one, state governments, including this Osun, that's the nearest, at least more than the federal government. What exactly has the government of Governor Ademola Adeleke rolled out to say, my people, I know what is going on. We are financially incapacitated because they have been complaining about the issues at the local government, choking the ability. But then, even if it's not money, even if it's transportation intervention from this point to this point, within this particular time, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. is on us. Yeah. By the time the students are returning or people that are going to work, let's say 3:30 p.m. or 4 p.m. or let's say even 3:30 p.m. to 6 p.m., this point to this point is on us. At least it will help. Now, local governments, actually, the APC have been claiming to be in local government. They are being in charge. So, and they have access to the money. So what are they doing now for the Osun people? At least they are the closest. Yes, and you people say you have money. Talking.
So, yes.
So what are you doing to assuage this particular thing? Right. Because the ones they call yes or no, they have been staying at home, actually, even though they are claiming to have the mandate. I mean, they sit at home. That's the PDP guys. Now, the APC guys, you guys are saying you are the ones with the mandate. You have the mandate. You have the money, which is still being a subject of controversy. So what are you doing? Because I've not seen any. Actually, on behalf of the government, local government, the 30 that we have with the area office in Ile-Ife, or Modakeke rather, the state government of Osun, and okay, maybe pockets of state governments are not rolling out, but let's stay with Osun. I've not seen any. By the way, you live in Highbrow. Maybe you have seen.
I've not seen anything.
Okay. All right. So what exactly is the functionality beyond the political parties' handouts that we are now seeing? Okay, which is okay, in as much as we are still Nigerians. But on behalf of the government, what exactly are they doing about this? Right. From Tinubu in Abuja, from Adeleke in Osogbo, from the chairman in Egbedore here, all right, that they said they have more money. Because whenever you speak to them, they say they are the ones in charge and they are being paid and they are working. What exactly are you doing?
Yeah. Well, yet
for the people are crying. All right. Just one more headline from the front page of The Guardian today. There you go. Insecurity. Tinubu security chief summons move twang. Okay. Summons move twang. We'll wait to see the result of that summoning, actually.
Okay.
Of that summon, rather.
And several Nigerians are waiting with you, Femi. On Daily Trust newspaper, we have this banner headline: Tinubu moves for new loans, debt to hit 195 trillion naira. I love the way the Daily Sun always keeps us abreast. Even more with these researches. Debt to hit 195 trillion naira. So with that additional 9 trillion, you can see what the debt profile, is now. RFI returns to ICPC custody. Commuters stranded as bridge collapses along Abuja Road. South Africans picket Nigerian High Commission over Igbo King. South Africans picket Nigerian High Commission over Igbo King. And you can see here below that, 2027, ABBA versus Gawuna again. 2027, ABBA versus Gawuna again? That's a question. To the top strip of the paper, below the nameplate, Bala Muhammad mauls the faction to ADC. Plateau, GNI confirms 4 members killed, 10 missing. 28 reps switch parties ahead primaries. Those are headlines making the face of Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
Interesting. The ABBA and the Gawuna thing, because these are familiar fools, actually. So ABBA will be definitely most likely seeking re-election in 2027. And of course, Gawuna has now moved to the ADC as well. Familiar. But the one interesting component is this. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso and ABBA were in the same camp.
Yes.
Before, in the same party. But now that Kwankwanso, the big man of Kano politics, has moved to the ADC, Gawuna that was on the opposing side before has come to meet the man or has followed the man to the ADC. So the Zami will have a Gawuna versus Abba, NNPP versus ADC. Time shall tell. All right. Interesting set of headlines here. From the Daily Trust, we move to the Nation, the last paper for this morning. And of course, it's a bumper, and we are giving you an extended version of our newspaper headlines. This morning, Senate House passed 68.3 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill. Budget size rises by 9 trillion naira. Okay. Lawmakers, okay. It's a season of okay. Actually, okays. Lawmakers, okay, $6 billion foreign loan for project. $6 billion foreign loan for project. And all right, just below that, 2025 capital votes expenditure extended to June 30. 2025 capital votes expenditure extended till June 30. All right, of course, you see the ladies here, of course, I call them the high flyers, doing their thing. All right, and US, UK, France, 7 others clear Nigeria's ambassadors to resume. US, United States, United Kingdom, France, 7 others clear Nigeria's ambassadors to resume. All right, wish them all the best.
We can see that these are the friends we've been saying for a while. At least they're the ones named. The US, we're having collaboration on security with them at this time.
Okay, yeah.
The UK, we visited we had a state visit to their country, about a week ago.
Yeah.
And then France, we've been on several trips to France.
Well, there are still other.
And there are 7
other stuff where don't
that
be like
we are friends
don't
with,
be
I'm
like
sure.
that. Don't be like that.
Okay.
All right, we are moving. Afrexim Bank leaks $4 billion financing for Dangote Refinery. Bank gives $2.5 billion commitment. All right, for a Nigerian company, that's a good one, actually. And if, of course, he knows now that the loan is coming in this way, the investment, you know, the man will have to pay back.
Yes.
And so, of course, we expect him to tighten the news as far as his company is concerned.
And there's a commitment side to it.
Troops foil attacks, rescue 150. Thank you, gallant men and officers. Troops foil attacks, rescue 150. El-Rufai taken back to custody. All right. And Transportation Minister, by the way, these continuation of Mr. Nasser El-Rufai's case that he's having with the ICPC and the rest of it, we hope it will have the same energy. Because some will say, now that you have seen his accusers, his political enemies gather to show support when his mother died, so that it won't be like talks are being had. Okay, just go back. Okay. And after a few days, you get to see stories, and all of a sudden you will be granted a bail, and the bail will keep on being extended till the case will subside. No, you have a case against this man.
Or till the elections are over.
Well?
Or till the elections are over.
Okay, all right.
And then another thing, what was the situation around his movement like? Was he allowed to go home? Was he allowed to do some things? Was he allowed to speak with associates? Was he allowed to be in a private
when it was released
with some other people? Yes.
Obviously. Obviously. We saw the pictures.
So those are some of the issues around that.
The question still is, who permitted him to leave? Who granted him bail?
Well, we can see, obviously, home? The court was aware.
Court?
Were they not?
According to information in the public space, we don't have any.
We don't know anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Just know that he was released.
On what ground? By
burial grounds. I mean, final rights grounds.
Final right ground.
Yes. Nobody ever does that on your behalf.
That's 2026.
Burial plans. What happened? It wasn't even the plans. It was the activity in itself.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right. Capital market. And by the way, our conversation will address that. You don't want to miss any part of that. Capital market investors net 30 trillion naira gains in Q1. Capital market investors net 30 trillion naira gains in Q1. Just Tinubu, Muftuang security chiefs meet over violence. Talking about just the unfortunate killings that happened there. Mindless, senseless, needless killings that have been witnessed in the public space. The latest is that of Jos. All right, and moving on, court orders forfeiture of Husseini's London house to federal government. Court orders forfeiture of Husseini's London house to the federal government. You want to know which Husseini? Pick up a copy of this paper, page 3. And 29 reps, the factions take APC members to 280. 29 reps, the factions make APC, take APC members to 280. I take that again, 29 reps, the factions take APC members to 280. All right.
You have one other interesting headline there you have not taken, below the red strip.
Right. Go ahead.
All right. I was thinking you'd take it. Transportation Minister resigns to contest in Gombe.
Oh, of course, we have seen that.
Adelabu fails to quit.
Okay. Oh,
fails.
You can also fail to quit. That's it.
Because that's to tell you Nigerians expect him to quit. Yes. You know, but the man has to hold.
You know that yeah, that's it. You understand
nothing
it.
From
whatever he was eyeing is gone.
It's gone.
He's gone. So definitely, in fact, somebody said maybe that's the reason.
Him to go
maybe that's the reason for that apology, because
yeah, saying now that
go no go. So he has to. All right. If I someone here I suggested maybe he should be deployed to the Ministry of Budget. I told you he's a finance guy. Actually, so let his brilliance
we don't trust
be
that.
used.
We don't trust that portfolio.
Who are you people? Who are the you?
We don't. Nigerians don't.
Maybe he should be put in the right place. Like maybe the whatever. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows better. He's his employer. Actually, all right. And there is a picture there of Nigeria, China unite for health. And you can see the coordinating minister of health and social welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Party, welcoming world-renowned microbiologist Professor George Gao at Nigeria-China Pandemic Preparedness Summit in Abuja. With them, the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Isaac Salako. All right, and of course, the man, having a good time. Well, I guess that's about that for newspapers segment today. It's a really good one. And let's take this quick break. When we return, we'll let you into what we have for you for our conversation today. Stay with us. All right, thank you for staying with us. It's the 1st of April edition of Morning Spring. 1st of April 2026, actually. Because 10 years from now, someone might be watching this and say, when is 1st of April 2026? Right here at our headquarters is Western Spring Television, in actually with the two-time presidential candidate of the AAC, talking